want to start first by thanking you, Jamie, for taking the time to chat with us here at The Christian Beat, all about your upcoming new music.
So excited. Thanks for having me back.
Oh,
It's an exciting season.
absolutely. So I want to first talk a little bit about the title and kind of the theme of the music, Sacred Surrender. So can you kind of talk about what that means for you personally in your journey?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Do you ever feel like you're living a theme of your life like over and over and over and over? I feel like that is the theme of Sacred Surrender. I thought that I had surrendered everything there was to surrender. As you know, I went through a real health crisis back in 2019 with something called Lyme disease. And that was when I truly learned how to let go. Things happen out of our control, like health challenges. Then the pandemic, as we all know, which was super hard for everybody, but especially those that make a living touring, singing. So it's like, let go. And when we started writing for this album, I just had this sense in my spirit that God was going to ask me to lay some more things down. And they were kind of personal and had to do with a relationship. And just, I was like, really, God, okay, I'll lay this person down. I really liked him, but I'll lay it down, Lord. And it feels like one thing after another, whether it be career things or relationship things or just dreams, things that you've desired for so long that maybe God will bring around. I sure hope, but living in this posture of surrender and seeing that it really is sacred and that it's holy. It's a holy invitation anytime God invites us to lay something down. Of course, our lives. He laid his life down for us. We say, not my life, your life, Lord, live through me, Jesus. We say this, but do we really live it? So that's where Sacred Surrender came from.
Awesome. And I know that you co-wrote on all of the tracks, but you obviously had other co-writers in. You have some collaborations musically as well on the project. So how did their experiences kind of fit in with yours to help build that message as well?
Yeah, this project, I didn't mean to have so many collabs, and it just kind of happened. All of those co-writes, it was like when they were singing with me, like I wrote Our Father with Selah. I just was like, Todd, you sound amazing. Of course, he's a great singer. He's like, well, let's do it together. I'm like, okay. And that was like another song of, we got to the chorus. It's a whole song about just the trials of life and things aren't perfect. As a believer, God never promises us a perfect life, but he promises he will walk with us through the valley, through the trials, right? And we had these like heartfelt verses and the struggles of life. And we got to the chorus and we were like, oh no, nothing. What are we going to do? And I just started praying the Lord's Prayer. I'm like, what if it's just, God, your kingdom come, your will be done? Again, this theme of surrender, like, hallowed be your name, like not our will be done in my story, God. So that ended up being like our tagline, your will be done in our story, our Father. So each kind of co-write felt like it was very natural with that theme. Ben from Citizen Way, we wrote this beautiful worship song. Again, the chorus is very much just this anthem. A song called Visions that I had led 20 years ago when I was a new Christian. Take my life, I'm giving it all to you. Again, this theme of surrender. So it just kept coming back, and all the guest artists really resonated with that theme as well, which was sweet to see.
Oh, for sure. I'm curious, is there a track that you're like most relating to right now in your season of them?
Yes, great question. I think the song that kind of resonates the deepest with me is this beautiful ballad. We wrote it, oh gosh, 2 years ago now. Wow, what are we in, 2024? Yeah, maybe 3 years. And it's called Loved and Not Alone. And I can remember I was really wrestling in that season of just really believing God, not just for myself, but for some amazing friendships, women in my life that are still single, and believing for a man of God and a godly relationship. And I was so burdened in that season. And I can remember getting in a writing room with two of the guys, Tyler and Josh, and they're like, "How have you been?" And I just kind of was like, "Bleh." And we kept coming back to, though I may not understand all the ways of God, this one thing I know: I'm loved and I'm not alone. And it was like the two truths I needed to like sing and prophesy over my life in that season, that I don't understand all your ways, God, but I'm loved and I'm not alone. And I think even like ministering that song, I'm on a tour right now, like there's something about declaring that out to people that struggle as well with, even if I hate to say this, but even when some people are married or have great families, there can be that tendency to feel alone, which I think is a ploy of the enemy. So it's been sweet to kind of speak and believe and walk in those two truths. It's done a lot for my own spirit as well, just coming back to that simple message that we're loved by God and we are never alone. So I think that one resonates the most with me. And it's a piano ballad. And if people have followed my music for a while, I'm just such a sucker. I lead from behind a piano, strings, the whole 9 yards. It's pretty old school, but I love it.
For sure. So you mentioned writing that one maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So did you know then that you were writing for this project, or is it kind of like when you started to pull together this project, you started to pull from music that you had already been writing?
Yes. Yeah, that's such a good question. I didn't know about this project, but you know how you sense something's coming? And I had met this incredible couple that wanted to start a vote of music. And so that was kind of in the talk. So we were dreaming into that. What would that look like? So I knew I was writing for another project, just didn't know the when or the how. And God kind of put that together on this new indie label. It releases March 22nd, which I can't believe. And, we write and write and write and then record and record and record. And it's like, it's finally here. So I love writing. I love writing for other artists. I write for Curbword Music Publishing, but there's something special when you get to write your own heart and sing those stories.
Oh, for sure. You mentioned being on tour right now. Are you able to do any of this new music? And if so, what has it been like to actually start to see that connection in person?
Yes. So I'm on a women's event tour. That's kind of always been my niche in Christian music. Love ministering to women, leading worship, sharing, speaking. And I have been doing Our Father off the album and Holy, Holy, Holy and Loved and Not Alone. And it has been so sweet to see the response. People are gravitating towards this theme of giving everything to Jesus, surrendering it all. There's a lot of hurting people right now. I mean, the the world is in an interesting place, as we know, but the light is shining brighter. And I think people are needing songs of hope more than ever. So that's my prayer with these songs. It's always nerve wracking. Like the first time you sing it, you're like, are they going to like it? Oh no, or am I going to minister and perform it well? But I feel like they're connecting in a new way. And even some of the messages I'm getting from people, really it astounds me. People are hurting and need just that reassurance that God is with them and God loves them. You know that, and as a Christian musician, as a minister, like that, but then to get out there and see it and hear it firsthand, it just really reiterates it.
Oh, for sure. So March 22nd, when the album comes out, is there a track or a lyric that you're kind of most looking forward to finally being out there officially?
Oh my goodness. Do you want to know the truth to that? So the last track, and it's probably going to be the least what's the word, streamed. I'm so old school. I'm still selling CDs. It's probably going to be the least streamed, but it's the last track. I got in the studio, beautiful studio. We rented, a friend of mine at church has it, grand piano. We hired 6 string players, and literally we didn't plan it. I sat down, they hit record, And I just started kind of free flowing worship, spontaneous, and just whatever was on my heart. I did end up going into two of the choruses on the album, one from Holy Holy and one from Vision. So there are like kind of some kickbacks from the album, but the rest is just this free flow. And I don't know what was going on that day with me, but like I kind of had this like holy righteous like anger towards sickness. And I think because I had just heard of another beloved friend that was fighting cancer. If you know my story with Lyme, it's been a journey, and I get so frustrated. Jesus came to give us life and life abundant, and these diseases and things try to steal that, right? And cut things off short. And so I just start praying and singing over sickness and singing over people that are dealing with depression or anxiety. And I mean, I don't have a big voice. I have a soft, sweet voice. I'll own that, you know. And something about that day and that track, I think it's 10 minutes, and it's more of like a worshipful prayer. So my prayer is that people will hit play, and if they're in hospital beds, if they're struggling at home with a chronic illness, if they're struggling with their mental or emotional health, that they'll be able to hit play and it will just literally wash over and be just kind of like what we read in the Old Testament, that sweet balm of Gilead, just that peace, that refreshing. So I can't wait for that one to be out. But like I'm saying, it's like the most left of center. It's not really CCM. It's not really standard worship. It's just this thing for 10 minutes.
No, that's awesome. That'll be a good one to hear. I know we're getting close to time, so I'll kind of wrap. I'll let you just for those that are going to come in contact with Sacred Surrender, like what expectations, what hope do you have for those that'll get to listen to the music?
Well, ooh, there's some fun ones. I mean, there's definitely like the roll your windows down, clap, sing along, upbeat, CCM, powerful declarations to God. It's a very worshipful album. So I pray that people do walk away just worshiping the Lord. But then there are those heartfelt kind of make you think singer songwriter pieces those are the ones that I pray really minister hope to people. And then we've got a few classic like corporate worship, put the lyrics up, raise your hands, sing on. So my prayer is that there's something on it for everybody. Even like I said, like doing these live one day, like I just need to be reminded of loved and not alone. And I feel like that's the one that really hits my heart. And then the next night, I just want to worship and declare he's holy. So I guess my prayer for the album, as people are listening, is that they will be able to connect wherever they're at in that season, because some of us are on the mountaintop right now and some of us are really wading through in the valley, and it's this hard season. And I pray that something resonates in their spirit as they listen.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you again, Jamie, for taking the time. Really enjoyed getting to
Oh, I
hear
love it. It's so
more.
short. We're done already.
I know, but no, I really appreciate getting to hear everything about it, and I'm excited for it to be out.